Hello everybody, welcome back. If you are new to the group, each week Molly and I present a word for contemplation, and that word is designed to be a guide for meditation, journaling, and discussion. So this week's word is reservation, and reservations, I think. And the conversation that Molly and I have been having about this word and the thoughts and the contemplation that I've been focusing on and meditating on about this word really goes around the concept of feeling reserved or having reservations about a situation. So I liked Molly's focus on her post about reservations and the idea of following your instincts and your intuition and that inner voice and feelings that you have, like your gut, about a situation. And it can be hard sometimes because we get distracted by things that are tempting or exciting or new or different. And sometimes those things are good opportunities. Sometimes those things are new opportunities. Sometimes they're just distractions. And when you pay attention to those instincts and you pay attention to that gut feeling about which direction you should take when you're in a situation, it can be very valuable because it'll give you the insight of when something's a new opportunity and when something is potentially a distraction from your goal. So that's a very subtle difference, and the building and practicing on trusting your instincts and trusting your intuition and those gut feelings can really help you make decisions in your life that benefit you and the people involved in any given situation. So I really liked that focus of the word reservations and that idea of trusting your inner voice and your inner kind of guides and gut feelings. The other idea of the reservations that was an interesting topic and discussion point was really the idea of boundaries, and that a lot of times we have reservations because we're unsure about something. So no matter what personality type you are, I think this is one of the words, one of the feelings, one of the experiences that we all share in a really similar way. So whether your personality type is naturally prone to quick action or quick thinking or quick decision making, or if you're more of a slow decision maker, if you put a lot more thought into something, or you have to really mull things over, or do a pros and cons list, or benefits or dangers, or any kind of these kind of things that maybe hinder decision making or slow down decision making. No matter where you are on that spectrum in your personality, we all have reservations. So I'm noticing that in my life, the people who are more quick-paced or fast-moving or action-oriented are still having reservations. They're still coming into situations that they're not sure of the future. They're not sure of what things are going to look like. We're in this new era with the pandemic. It's something that none of us have ever lived before. We're not sure of the implications of this. There's a lot of things going on in the government with the government trying to support us with vaccinations, with the housing market. There's just all kinds of things happening in the world. We're just not sure where this is going. We're in this uncharted territory, and in a day and age that has a lot of information coming at us all the time. So it's very difficult to weed out the information that's useful and valuable and really speaks kind of the truth of what's going on versus information that's just a lot of noise. So like I've said in other weeks, that sometimes these overgeneralized concepts can just be a bunch of noise. And when you really look at a situation, the truth of that situation lies somewhere in the middle, somewhere in the details of that situation. So it's hard to figure that out. And I think discernment, which we've talked about before, is really important when it comes to having reservations, taking in information, and then making decisions and taking action. So some personalities, even the most action-oriented personalities, when they're unsure of something or they don't know if they have all the information they need, can have reservations. And again, the key to that feeling, no matter whether you're having very quick decision making or you're having a harder time making decisions, is trusting that internal dialogue, trusting that inner voice, that ancestral knowledge, or those gut feelings, and really paying attention to trusting in the timing of the universe or God or whatever you believe in, trusting in the process and the flow of how things work, and looking for those little nuances that happen that can give us kind of clues or keys on how we're feeling or what direction we should be taking or what decisions we should be making. But all of that is a very thought-provoking process. It's something that it helps to have people in your life that you can work through these kind of things, like, why am I feeling this way? What direction am I going to take? Why am I thinking of taking this direction versus this direction when you're in those forks in the road? And I've been having my own feelings and reservations about certain things. I'm in kind of a job limbo right now. I have a good job, but I know it won't last very long. It's kind of a temporary position, and it doesn't really have a solid end date. So there's a lot of unsure feelings about what direction to take next. And that's tough. That's something that can be really unnerving when you're having those feelings, those reservations about like which direction you should take. And I think these discussions are important, that I'm fortunate to have and blessed to have people in my life that I can talk these more deep experiences over with, that they can go there with me, that they can listen to my concerns or validate my feelings. And I do the same for those people in my life. And I think that's important. I've listened to several lectures from psychologists who are helping bigger organizations with processing change, and it really is important to have a sounding board. It really is important to have 2 or 3 people in your life that you can present information, present your feelings in a really open, honest way, in a really vulnerable place, and not be judged, be supported, be validated, have those feelings honored. And that way you can work through those processes, figure out where those feelings are coming from, why those certain situations are bothering you, and why you're having reservations. One of the other things that Molly's been talking about is boundaries. And I think our discussion there was a really important one, because boundaries is such a vague word. And it's important to remember when you're dealing with boundaries that the first thing that you need to do when you're setting boundaries is express where you're comfortable, right? This is what I'm comfortable with, your behavior in this situation. For example, if you come to my house, I don't mind if you drink some beer, but I'd rather you not drink hard alcohol because it makes me uncomfortable, because you get a little bit out of control, right? So that's setting my expectations. That's setting the limits that I have, or setting those expectations that I have. Now, the other part of boundaries is setting the limits. So if you do the thing that I just told you makes me uncomfortable, then I would like you to leave, right? So that's the limitation. Then I would like you to not come over, or try another day, or leave if it gets to that point, and then we'll try again tomorrow. Also, not holding on to that decision, that if that person messes up, or if that person doesn't respect your boundaries, that person crosses that limitation, they're not respecting that limitation, then it's okay to just say, hey, listen, I'm not good with that today. Let's try again tomorrow. I'm not going to hold you responsible for that forever. I'm not going to hold on to that crossing of my boundary, but I'm going to tell you that that's not working for me today, and I'd be happy to try again tomorrow. So boundaries and limitations are also, boundaries and the limitations that come with that are also something that we have to keep up. It's not a one-time shot. You can't tell somebody your boundary or talk to somebody about something that makes you uncomfortable and expect that to stick forever. It's something that takes kind of a constant processing and practice. And we're going to have mistakes. We're going to err. We're going to press boundaries and cross limitations. And it's important to be, if you love that person or you want that person in your life and you value that relationship, it's important to be sensitive to that we're not all perfect, and all of us have our own stuff going on, and it's again not always about us. So I really like this conversation about reservations, and I think it broadens a lot. It opens up into a broad amount of topics, and it really speaks to all of us, that we all have these feelings of having reservations sometimes, and it's important to listen to that internal system that's telling you, like, hey, whoa, wait a minute, let's check out what this is. Am I just being excited and distracted, or is this truly a new, fresh opportunity that would lead me toward goals or things that I have in mind for my life, or a direction that I have in mind for my life? So I hope you enjoyed my conversation today about our topic, and I would look forward to hearing your comments. And I appreciate you showing up today. Thank you.